Hello, welcome back to the Board Games 4K YouTube channel. And this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a space-themed sandbox game. We're going to be talking about Xayah Legends of a Drift System and the expansion. We're going to touch on the expansion. Is it Embers of a Forsaken Star or something like that? We're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Xayah Legends of a Drift System is still worth playing today and in the future. So remember, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in this section and we'll see you after this. So, Xayah Legends of a Drift System. How'd you play this game? So this game is so massive that we're only going to touch on certain rules that we think are important. You know, we're not going to give you a comprehensive rules overview because that would just be completely and utterly bonkers, right? So this game is referred to as a sandbox game, but it's not really a sandbox game because a sandbox game would imply that you can do whatever you want whenever you want to do it, right? And you can't do that in this game. There's certain actions that you can do, but it does mean that you can craft the game to your liking. You're going to be sort of exploring and doing what you want to do out of a huge array of opportunities. So the first thing you're going to do, we're going to touch on the setup, you know what I mean? We're not going to give you an in-depth idea of how to set this up because you can get the rules online, but it's so massive anyway, so we're not going to waste too much time on this. Everyone's going to take a tier 1 ship. There's tier 2 ships and tier 3 ships for later on in the game when you upgrade. Every player's going to choose a colour and you're going to get 3,000 credits. And credits are fantastic. You've got these really nice triangular type, really heavy metal coins that you're going to be using. So you're going to choose a starting player and they're going to choose a ship mat, an ability card, and they're going to take the matching miniature of their ship mat. And then you're going to go clockwise and everyone's going to do the same thing until everybody has got a ship mat and a ability card. So once everyone's done that, then you will then start purchasing outfits for your ship, and the outfits for your ship come in these little tiny sort of like Tetris style tiles, and you'll be purchasing weapons, storage space, all that sort of stuff. You'll be trying to fit them into your ship in the most efficient way possible. And if you're the last player to pick a ship, then you will get to go first. So this game revolves around taking certain actions, and you could take as many actions as you want on your turn until you're fed up or until you end up turning into a pile of dust. So one of the main concepts in this game is the concept of energy, and you'll be spending energy to arm certain markers that will allow you to take actions. And you'll notice on the board that you've got the energy meter down the bottom of the board, and then you've got all the arm markers that are down in the bottom left of your player mat. And obviously you'll be spending the energy points to arm these markers that will allow you to take actions on the other parts of your player mat. So some of the actions that you can take in this game, you can move, and what you'll do, you'll arm an engine and then you'll move that number of spaces dependent on how powerful your engine is. There's also this thing called an impulse mark, which will allow you to take that action again, right? So the second action that you can do is you can attack. And what you'll do, you will arm your missiles, your blasters, or your ram, and then you'll engage in combat, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The third action that you can do is you can draw a mission card. You can only ever have one mission card in play at any one time. You can also use this action to complete a mission, to start a mission, or to discard a mission. So some of the mission cards in this game are, you might have the coerce mission cards, and this one says that it strikes fear in their hearts. And what it does, it tells you to target a player on your right, and the coerce results are based on total damage dealt to a target. If you roll a 0 or 1, the target is destroyed, and if you roll a 2 or a 4, you get a certain amount of credits. And obviously if you roll a 5 to an 8, you get a higher amount of bounty, and if you roll a 9, then you get truckloads of bounty. And this tells you to deliver a certain resource to Tig, and also gives you a fame point. The missions are really varied, and there's a massive wad of these mission cards to complete, so you'll be spending the rest of your life trying to complete all these missions in this game. So the next action that you can take is the cargo action, and this consists of buying cubes and storing them in your ship's hull or storage spaces. You can collect cubes that are floating around in space. You can mine on certain planets. So the next action you can do is you can explore. You get the option to scan the sector, in which case this will cost you 1 energy, or you can blind jump, in which case you'll just flip the tile over and you'll move onto one of the next spaces. But you've got to be very careful because there is insta death in this game, so it's a massive gamble if you do decide to blind jump. So once you explore, if there's an exploration token on the space of the tile that you've just explored, you get to take the exploration token and get the benefit of that token. You might be able to pick up 1,000 credits. You might be able to immediately receive a fame point, or there may be an X, in which case you will receive diddly squat nothing. So the final action that you can take is the other action, and this allows you to use your special abilities or rescue stranded ships or other stuff, right? So once you completed the action phase, you move on to the business phase. You can recharge, which means you can activate all armed markers and then move your energy marker back up to full. You can repair, so you can remove damage from your ship, and this will cost you 1,000 credits unless you've got a tier 3 ship, which will cost you 2,000 credits, right? You can sell undamaged outfits, and this will cost you half of the original cost rounded up. You can buy outfits, and this will be full price as long as they can fit in your hold. You can rearrange your hold. You can move your outfits around and do whatever you like with them. You can buy a new ship, and each time you buy a new ship you get a fame point, or you can buy a fame point for 5,000 credits. Okay, so once you've done the business phase, then you'll move on to the status phase, and this is just a little bit of cleanup. You know what I mean? When you're trying to mop up those breadcrumbs that you've dropped on the kitchen floor. So what you'll do, you'll claim any title cards or fame points that you've accumulated throughout the round. And some of the titles might be, you might be able to claim the veteran title, and if you get this title, it tells you that once per turn you can use a minor action for a mission objective or a mission complete action. Or you might end up having the archaeologist, and this tells you that once you sift 2 relic tokens 1 turn and choose the fame point reward for both, then when taking the sift action for relic tokens you can claim both rewards, and this also gives you a fame point. So the next stage of the status phase is you'll draw more title cards as long as somebody's reached that level of fame, and you'll move any used arm markers to the disarm space, and then you'll spend energy to rearm them. So there's also very minor actions that you can use in Xayah. You can draw mission cards, you can collect exploration markers, you can collect jettison cargo, you can blind jump into a new sector, or you can discard missions, yeah? So the crux of this game revolves around fame. At the beginning of the game, you're going to choose how many fame points you're going to need to get to complete the game, and it ranges from, I think, 5 to 20 fame. The more fame that you're going to try and claim, the longer the game is going to take. So there's various ways of gathering fame points in this game. You can take an exploration token. You can be the first player to use a jump gate, and jump gates are tiles that allow you to travel from one side of the board to the other. Every time you complete a mission you get a fame point. If you destroy a ship you'll get a fame point equal to the tier of a ship, so if you destroy a tier 3 ship you'll get 3 fame points. If you sell all of your cubes in your hull then you will get a fame point. Every time you purchase a new ship you will get a fame point. Funny old thing. If you rescue a stranded player, that's a player that has run out of energy and can't move, then you'll get a fame point for doing that. There's fame points on title cards, and if you roll a natural 20 on the D20 then you'll get a fame point for that. Lovely. And the final way of getting fame points is you can buy them. If you're that rich filthy capitalist that's got 5,000 credits, you will be able to buy your way to victory. So when you're trying to move around a board, you've got to look at these certain borders that are on the tiles, right? And what you do when you're crossing over these certain borders, you roll a d20 and you'll consult the table in a very 80s Games Workshop fashion, and depending on what you roll, something happens to you. So if you're trying to enter a planet, you roll a d20. If you roll an 18 to 20, there won't be a penalty. If you roll an 11 to 17, you'll enter, but you'll get a plus £1,000 bounty on your head, right? And also, if you're trying to enter the nebula, you need to roll 11 to 20, otherwise you will lose energy, but you can mitigate that with shields, right? So another part of this game is combat. So what you do, you choose what you're going to attack with. Missiles will allow you to attack from 2 to 6 spaces. If you want to use blasters, then you'll have to be adjacent, and if you want to use a ram attack, then you'll have to be adjacent as well, yeah? So you'll have to make sure that you can trace a line from the center of your space to the center of the target space. So the attacker will declare the target and they'll decide how many outfits they're going to use to attack the target. And then the defender will announce how many shield outfits they will use to defend themselves. Each participant in the combat will roll a number of dice associated with the outfits that they've previously identified, and then you'll subtract the defense value from the attack value, and that's how many damage cubes will have to be placed on your ship. And then finally, you'll have the chance to rearm, and this means that defenders will be able to immediately rearm any spent markers at a cost of 1 energy per marker, right? So you'll keep doing this, you'll keep exploring the galaxy, you'll keep trying to complete missions, you'll keep trying to acquire fame points in any way that you can, and the player that reaches the predetermined number of fame points will be the winner of Xayah Legends of Adrift system. So what do we like about Xayah Legends of Adrift system? So the first thing that we really like about this game is the sheer mind-boggling amount of things to do in this game. You can become a merchant. You can go around getting your fame points by delivering cargo to different planets. You can become a space pirate and go around trying to destroy other players and cause a load of mayhem. Or you could just go out into the galaxy looking for those exploration tokens and just explore, complete missions, and just do whatever you want. In every game is completely and utterly different. And with the expansion, this adds even more variety. You've got a different way of buying and selling stuff. You've got a different market board that you can implement. You've got even more types of planets and different types of galactic terrain to encounter. And it's just overwhelmingly huge and expansive game. So the second thing that we really like about this game is the Tetris style minigame when you're trying to place your outfits into your ship. The more powerful the outfit, the bigger the tetramino is going to be. So you sort of spend a little bit of time trying to juggle around and fit these things into your ship. And also, the more powerful the outfit, the more awkward it's going to be to fit in. So it's a nice test of efficiency. So the third thing that we really like about this game is the wide variety of roles that you can take. Like we said, you could become a space pirate, you could become a merchant, you can just do whatever you like, and the expansion adds even more to this. And you can even play this solo with non-player characters, so you can add in like the space police. You've got a pirate that's roaming around the galaxy, and you've got a merchant ship that will go from point to point to point, delivering goods that you can intercept and all that sort of thing. So not only do the roles apply to the multiplayer game, you've also got a wide variety of things going on in this solo game. So the next thing that we really like about this game is that the modular board guarantees replayability, because in most games, and it's most average size games, not all the tiles are going to come out right, where you'll always start with a tile in the center of the board. The way that the tiles are shuffled and randomized, you're going to be putting these tiles out in different places all the time. And also the designer had the wonderful idea of creating blank tiles where you can go on their website, download a PDF of tiles that you can cut out and paste onto these blank tiles. So that's another thing that keeps this game fresh, is that there's a sort of like a sort of a DIY toolbox included in this game. And if you have a look on the website, if you do end up getting this game, there's loads of other stuff you can download and you can add to this game for free, right? So the next thing, the final thing that we like about this game is the fact that it comes with pre-painted miniatures. And that's something that is a massive boon for us, because I'm useless at painting miniatures. I have not got the patience. I mean, if you look at something like Kingdom Death Monster, where not only have you got to assemble the miniatures, but you've also got to paint the bloody things. This game drove me out the wall, and it's put us off playing it, right? So the fact that you've got these pre-painted miniatures that admittedly aren't the best quality in the world, but they do look nice on the table with their little stands and all that sort of thing flying around the board, then that is a massive thing, and it does take a lot of weight off our shoulders. And I breathed a sigh of relief when I found out that there was pre-painted miniatures in this game. Love it. So what don't we like about Xayah Legends of Adrift system? So the first thing that we don't like about Xayah Legends of Adrift system is that it's far too random, okay? One of the main things about this game that bugged people was the roll and move mechanic, right? So when you want to move, you'll roll a dice based on the strength of your engine, and then you'll move that number of spaces, right? So what people done, they house ruled in this thing to sort of mitigate that random nightmare. So you're going to roll 2 dice and you'll choose the highest die that you roll, right? And that sort of fixes the problem of roll and move. And also, enter a certain type of terrain, galactic terrain, you're going to have to roll a d20 to see what happens. And that is another thing that can be quite cruel, you know. So the fact that this game may be a little bit too random for some people is a major problem. So the second thing that we don't like about this game is the fact that the modular nature of the board, and we're contradicting ourselves, aren't we, with this one, but so what, who cares, it's my channel, right, is that you're going to be constantly repositioning the board. So if you think about it, when you play this game, not all the tiles are going to be going out in a uniform fashion. You're going to be branching off more one way than you are in another way, and you're going to have to constantly sort of move the board to the centre of the table all the time. Tokens on the board, you've got these stuff on the board, and it's a bloody nightmare. So the next thing that we don't like about this game is that some of the missions are very difficult, or if not impossible, to complete. So if you think about it, you draw a mission card and you're looking at it, it says deliver some pink cubes from this point to this point. You think, well, there's no chance I'm going to be able to get around there, so I'm going to have to go all the way around, so I'm not going to take the mission, right? And also, if you draw a mission card that has a location that's not been revealed yet, you're thinking, well, it's not worth me taking that because it could be X amount of turns before it turns out. You discard it, and lo and behold, your grandma on her turn reveals the tile that you would have had to have gone to, and it's right next to you. So there's a problem with the fact that there's so many mission cards in this game that not all of them are going to be that easy to complete. So the final thing that we don't like about this game is that there may be too many rules in this game. And I'm not complaining about this because my brain is like the size of an amoeba. But we downloaded a cheat sheet thinking, well, you know, you don't have to memorize all the rules there, but we downloaded a nice little cheat sheet, and we looked at it, and it's got text that's smaller than the font of the King James Bible. You know what I mean? It's impossible to read. It's like looking through a bleeding microscope. So if the cheat sheet is 2 sides long and it's got about 7,000 words on each side, that tells you how many rules there are in this game. And it kind of drags the game down for your first couple of plays. Eventually you're going to get into the swing of things. There is a barrier to entry with this game because there's so many exceptions to deal with. So to summarise, is Xia Legends of a Drift System still worth playing today and in the future? So we are going to say yes. It's an amazing space-themed luck fest that we really, by rights, should have hated, because we hate random card draws, we hate random die rolls, but for some reason this felt different. We managed to throw off the shackles of roll and move and luck, and we just managed to sit back and enjoy this game. Okay, there are a few minor problems with this one, with the difficulty of the mission cards and the fact that the game does throw up things that you're not going to be able to navigate very well, like maybe your route through the galaxy is going to be hindered by the random tile draw, or maybe one player is going to find it more easy to gather fame points than you are. But the fact that this game offers up such a wealth of possibilities, you can write your own story, and without doubt this game is going to give you some of the best stories that a board game can provide to you. You're going to be recounting the exploits of your ship and your crew for years to come. So we're going to give Xia Legends of a Drift System 5 stars. That's a remarkable thing for us with a game that contains so many random elements, but this is a remarkable achievement for a game of this type. This is without doubt one of our favourite games of all time. Replayability and so much variety and so much fun to be had with this game that it's a must-have board game if you don't already own it. So there you go, that's Xia Legends of a Drift System. Remember, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to this channel for more board game stuff, and we'll see you next time.